Baker Mayfield released a statement thanking Browns fans because he's uncertain about his future.
He's paper soft.
And he thanked the Browns fans, and he told the city of Cleveland, listen, I gave it my all. Things didn't always go as planned, but one thing you can always count on is that I'm going to give it my all the time. No regrets, basically. And he wrote the letter. A lot of Cleveland Browns fans were defending him. Even hell, I was defending Baker Mayfield. A report also came out that the Cleveland Browns want an adult at quarterback. And Chris Mortensen said this on ESPN, that they're going to break up regardless of what happens with Watson, and they want a, quote, want an adult at quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is one I would not ignore for Cleveland. So based off this information, based off what Baker wrote to the city of Cleveland, what are your thoughts? You look like you're very anti-Baker right now, so I'll ask you, Drew, because you called him soft.
He is soft for that. The one report comes out that the Browns are interested in Deshaun Watson. Here's a two screenshot.
Instagram
Come
post.
on, can we grow up, please? Like, I understand.
All the credit to Jimmy G, to Tua, these guys who have dealt with all this controversy throughout the year.
Tua never not once released any outwardly strong message towards the organization.
He has no right to.
Why is that?
Because he's done nothing.
He's won games in Miami that a quarterback hasn't done in years. So give him that respect.
He's done nothing for the city of Miami.
That's debatable.
No, it's not debatable. It's a fact.
It is. Again,
he's done nothing.
He has won the most games for a Miami quarterback in years that Miami quarterbacks haven't
made the playoffs. He's done nothing.
He's been a game away 2 seasons in a row.
He's done nothing.
As a rookie, let's be honest, this was his rookie season.
He's done nothing. It's different. For example, like Justin Herbert, no playoff
Jimmy
wins.
G, though? Like, you just overlooked Jimmy G. Is that not facts? Yep.
Justin Herbert, no playoff wins, but he set records as a rookie.
Good for him.
He has the most passing touchdowns in a quarterback's first 2 seasons starting in history.
Why are we talking about Herbert?
I'm saying he's done something. Baker has done something for Cleveland. Tua has done nothing for Cleveland. He has no right to say anything.
Annoying because, yes, Baker came in at the and he has been the first stable quarterback in years. But they've also, for
20 years,
for the first time, have a good roster and a front office that knows what they're doing, and a head coach,
offensive line,
and a head coach, and yes, I get it. Baker's been stable for them, but we can't throw out the fact that they had a top 5 talented roster. The coach of the year, Andrew Berry's been a great GM for them. Like, it's not.
There's no doubt.
Baker hasn't been carrying this team. Let's not.
Who's saying that? Nobody's saying that.
Your tweet yesterday made it seem like they're just throwing Baker to the side because he's been great.
This is what I'm saying. You're calling it soft. I'm calling it a man of emotions.
Oh my God.
That's not the worst thing in the world to show.
I don't disagree.
This guy, you got to understand.
What was the need for it?
You have to understand.
There was no official report.
There was a need
like
for
2 hours before, bro. It was like
he's the one that came out and broke it. The news that the Browns were going to move off of him.
Because before then, I just thought the Cleveland had like an outside chance, but he put it out, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
That's exactly.
They really might get Deshaun.
Facts.
This is why. The reason why I loved what Baker Mayfield did is because he gave himself up. He basically said, "Listen, whatever happens, I tried my best." And all Baker Mayfield has done his entire life is try his best. He was a walk-on at Texas Tech.
I don't want to hear this.
The story's great.
He was a walk-on at Oklahoma. Walk-on.
You're putting me to sleep.
He's an incredibly successful man.
He won a Heisman Trophy being a walk-on.
With the best
first
college coach
overall pick.
Country.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, let's just disregard what Baker did.
He did it with literally every quarterback he had.
He was drafted with the first overall pick. He was drafted into a situation where the team had an 0-16 season. They had 0 wins. First season, he wins 7 games with the Cleveland Browns. I remember the dilemma with Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson didn't want to play him in the beginning of the season. He was forced to because of a Tyrod Taylor. He was struggling against the Jets. And Baker came in against the Jets, and Baker lit the Jets up.
Yeah, we sucked.
He set records for a rookie in his first season in the NFL. He had 26 passing touchdowns. Yes, he regressed in 2019, but that's because Freddie Kitchens couldn't coach. In 2020, you give him Kevin Stefanski, he throws for 30 touchdowns, leads the Browns to the playoffs for the first time since 2002 and wins the city of Cleveland its first playoff game since 1994. He's been with the Browns for 4 years. 2 of the years have been great. 2 of them have been roller coasters that have been going downhill. I don't blame Baker at all for getting emotional over that. He gave the city 4 years. He dealt with multiple injuries this past season. While I don't think he's a great quarterback, the Browns owe him some respect. They owe him some honesty. They owe him some respect. Hey, Baker, we don't think you're a fit for this team anymore. Baker has to hear from the media? That's ridiculous.
You have the
he
chance
deserves
to
better.
get Deshaun Watson.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And let's also
I think
be
they
real.
should get Deshaun Watson.
The Browns are not in a position to be satisfied with the playoffs.
And
I'd move
how many
off.
times has Baker called out like the medical staff or coaches or players were just like outright to the media talk shit about his own team?
I'd move off from Baker Mayfield in a heartbeat for Deshaun Watson. And that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is that Baker Mayfield had every right to write what he wrote and release that statement.
Nobody, unless I'm going crazy, I didn't hear.
And I don't think it was a bad look.
I didn't think it was a realistic chance that Deshaun was going to Cleveland until Baker put that out. That made me think,
I thought it was.
No, we heard the NFC South teams. Those were the only teams, Carolina and New Orleans. Those were the 2 teams competing. Once Baker put this out, that's what made Twitter and the world go, oh, he could really go to Cleveland.
I never thought that way. The reason why is because I felt like the Browns were always in on Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's quite obvious that if they have the chance to move off from Baker, they're going to go get Deshaun. They released an all-pro caliber center in J.C. Treader to release some cap space. They released Jarvis Landry. I'm pretty sure they released some other players too. They did this because they're creating cap for Deshaun. I thought it the entire time.
But that's different. You create... It's one thing if you know you're going to get him. They're not making these moves like knowing in their head we're getting Deshaun, we have to clear up cap. They were just doing it because they had to clear up cap.
No, they're doing it because they're like in the situation where we're going to get Deshaun, we got to have the cap.
No, but all they could do is, oh, we're getting Deshaun. Okay, now we could cut them. They're not going to cut them prematurely. It doesn't make sense to cut them 3 days before. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because
I don't
imagine
know.
you just cut all these players
and you don't get them.
Deshaun, you look stupid.
I mean, I think the Browns will take that risk. And I also think that the Browns are looking at J.C. Treader like he's a great center for sure.
Jarvis was always going to be a cut candidate.
You're right. J.C. Treader is one of the better centers in the NFL for sure. But we have a great offensive line even if he's not there. So I think they were a little bit okay with cutting him. But I tweeted it yesterday too. When they cut J.C. Treader, I was like, this is obvious. This is a move to get Deshaun. I think and it was also reported that Deshaun was going to meet with them too. So
he met with them yesterday. Yeah,
this didn't come out of nowhere. Like, I think Baker released this statement because he wanted to put his face out there. He wanted his words to be out there to be received by the city of Cleveland and his fans.
We don't hear Matt Ryan doing this. We didn't hear Darnold doing this. We didn't hear Wentz doing this when he got traded.
Why would Darnold have to do it? Darnold's done nothing.
He's the starting quarterback.
What about Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan, okay, I agree. That's a different case. That's a different case.
What about Wentz when all the rumors that he was going to get traded? I didn't see him put anything on social media.
He openly talked to teammates about him, saying he wasn't happy about the 2017 Eagles' success without him.
I don't care if he goes and talks to teammates that were supposed to be private. That's cool with me. What I don't like is you going on social media.
That's facts, though.
Okay, but you're okay with your franchise quarterback saying,
bro,
okay.
If Drew's the coach and we're boys, and I'm like, yo, it kind of pissed me off. We're supposed to be boys. We're supposed to be tight. You're not supposed to say nothing. If I'm like, yo, I was tight that they actually won, and that's supposed to stay between us. It's my fault that you went out and told somebody.
I'm not saying it's your fault.
Wentz thought it was
you doing it is a reflection of your character.
But Wentz thought he had teammates that were going to keep his conversations private, and obviously,
Wentz also everywhere he's been has been questioned for his leadership,
and so has Baker.
Who's questioning his leadership on the Browns?
Bro, Baker's not a good leader. What are we talking about?
There's a reason why they want an adult at quarterback.
Yeah, what?
I think that's a shot at Baker.
He called out the medical staff.
That adult at quarterback report came after this statement Baker released.
But this has been a trending thing. We know Baker is not the most mature quarterback in the NFL. We've known this since coming out of college.
Okay, he's
him
not
holding his jock, putting the flag on midfield.
You get away with things like that
when you're
if
nice.
you're winning and
like
you're
Kyler.
successful.
Kyler could be
statistically.
immature. I don't give a damn. He's a top 10 talent.
Look at the way that Joe Burrow acts.
Kyler hasn't won a
media.
playoff game.
Who do we have? Kyler or Burrow? Or Kyler or
I would rather have
Baker.
Kyler, but that's not the discussion.
My
here.
point being is, look at Joe Burrow, the way that he expresses himself in the media, expresses himself off the field.
Well, Joe Burrow's different class type of guy.
Because he is able to perform at a high level. You get away with things like that when you perform at a high level.
So you're telling me the moment Joe Burrow doesn't perform up to that level, you're turning your back on him?
I'm not turning my back, but the media will 100% start to scrutinize him more for it.
Okay, and there's a reason why the city of Cleveland and its fans are behind Baker Mayfield, because they understand. And it's so. People,
Is there
I was
the
gonna
fans
say,
of Cleveland really
I
supporting
don't-
Baker
I don't
Mayfield
think
tooth and nail?
they
Bro,
are.
I
They
don't
are.
think. You think
They
a
are.
single fan in Cleveland is going to be upset if they upgrade from Baker Mayfield?
It's not about that. It's
To
about how they're
Deshaun
treating.
Watson. That's
it's
the
about
thing.
how they're treating Baker Mayfield, bro. That's what it's about. It's not about. It's the principle that matters.
I don't know any Browns fans, but I find it incredibly hard
Bro,
to believe
this
that
is a
they
Browns
are all
franchise.
diehard Baker Mayfield stands.
Well,
Listen,
not
we know
all of
we know
them.
we know Muffins, we know Tizzy. Both of them say if we get Deshaun Watson, adios Baker Mayfield. I
Okay.
never want to see you ever
Of
again.
course, it's not all Browns fans. Nobody's ever insinuated it was all Browns fans.
You just said Brown City. You said the city of Cleveland was behind Baker. That's what you just said.
bro, that doesn't mean it's every single person, though.
You said
know what
the
I'm saying?
city of Cleveland.
But it doesn't mean it's every single
Oh,
You're
person,
saying a
bro.
good majority of the city.
Okay,
Have you guys-
85%?
Let me ask you a question right now. Have you searched up Cleveland Browns or Baker Mayfield on Twitter?
No.
You haven't since this. Okay. I want you to go home after the podcast, search it up, and see what the reporters, what the beat reporters, what the people that cover the Browns are saying about Baker in this situation. I want you to do it. And I want you to tell me if it's mostly positive or mostly negative. It's mostly them thanking Baker for finally giving them a stable quarterback because they've been a poverty franchise for 20 years until Baker showed up. They were 0-16 before Baker showed up. They went through the most quarterbacks in the NFL until Baker showed up.
What exactly do I have to search here? Do I have to?
I mean, but you look at this quarterback list. Tim Couch, Derek Anderson, Brian Hoyer, Colt McCoy, Charlie Fry, Brendan Whedon, Trent. He didn't have much to compete with. As long as he was average, which he was majority of the time average, except
Okay.
his one great season in 2020.
You bring up a great point. Okay, you get
They
okay.
had nobody's.
There's not many quarterbacks to compete with. Whatever. Who was a quarterback that gave us our best season as Jets fans?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No, it wasn't. No,
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't.
was.
No, it wasn't. Be honest.
Statistically.
No.
it was-
The best
Sanchez,
season.
yes.
Sanchez.
If you're talking statistically, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Even though Sanchez wasn't a good quarterback, Jets fans appreciate Mark
He
Sanchez.
took us to back-to-back AFC championships. This guy went to a playoff game.
And they won their first playoff game since 1994, bro.
And they beat a bad Steelers team who were off the rails at the end of the
The
season.
Steelers were favored in that game.
Okay, but the Steelers were terrible at the end
Bro,
of the year.
the
And they
Steelers-
almost blew that game. They were up like 30, and the Steelers came back and almost
The
won.
Steelers were favored in that game, and the Browns beat the
By what,
brakes off of them.
3?
Like, come on, bro. What are you talking about
They're
here?
not
That's what
10-point
I'm saying.
favorites. They were 3-point favorites probably.
For you to act like it's so asinine for Browns fans to appreciate what Baker Mayfield has done for the
compare
city
what
is
Baker's
ridiculous.
done to what Sanchez has done is crazy. Sanchez took us to back-to-back AFC championships games. He was great in the media. He never talked shit about teammates, about the coaching staff, about medical people. Baker did all of that, and all he did was go to one playoff game and won. They got smoked round 2.
You're missing the point. The point is
You
that
brought up Sanchez.
yes, but you're missing the point of me bringing up Sanchez. I brought up Sanchez because even though he was a bad quarterback, we as Jets fans appreciate him. Yes, we would have moved off from Sanchez in a heartbeat for a better quarterback. Doesn't mean we wouldn't appreciate
But
Sanchez. The same way Browns fans appreciate Baker Mayfield.
If
They
Sanchez,
appreciate
if
Baker
Sanchez called
Mayfield.
out Sean Green, LT, Rex Ryan, the medical staff, would we still appreciate him?
Who did Baker call out?
He called out the medical staff. He had problems with teammates in the locker room.
Name me them.
Odell.
Odell was a big one.
Odell was, his dad put out the footage. Baker never once came out in the media and bashed Odell.
Do you think Odell didn't okay that with his pops?
I'm not saying he didn't. Baker never
Like,
won.
if
Bro,
Odell
you're not
told his
letting me
pops.
finish. Baker never once bashed Odell in the media.
Listen, man, I agree with what you're saying. If I'm the city of Cleveland, yes, I get it.
Y'all are mentioning Odell.
He called out Duke Johnson. That's who it was.
Oh, yeah.
Called out Duke Johnson.
So that's the only person he called out, bro.
Are
you serious?
That was one quick Google search. I'm
and
sure I could
that was
find
after
more.
him requesting a trade. And Baker said, you're either with us or you're not with us. You're either all in or you're not. That's a bad statement to say after somebody requests a trade?
In terms of being appreciative for what he's done, the one playoff win, especially when you haven't been there since 2002, yes. That is huge. However, in the grand scheme of things, which is what we're talking about, there is no fan that is going to be upset moving on from Baker.
In the grand scheme of things, I've already told you guys, if you can get Deshaun, you do it. But the conversation here, the argument started because you think it's ridiculous for Browns fans to appreciate Baker Mayfield.
I don't think it's
ridiculous. And
ridiculous.
you called Baker Mayfield's statement to the fans soft.
It was soft.
It was a
It's
soft
just
move.
him showing his appreciation to the fans.
All right, fine. I'm fine with that. But there was no reason to issue that statement once the media reported that you were that Deshaun Watson was interested in going to the Browns.
When's the last time you saw a quarterback go on social media and say goodbye to fans
prior
before
to
getting
leaving?
moved?
That's the shit.
When? Ever?
Maybe it's because Baker knows he's leaving Cleveland regardless of what happens with Deshaun Watson.
Whose fault is that?
It's not Baker's fault.
Whose fault is it?
Andrew Berry wants to move on for Baker. That's
because
Baker's
Baker's
what he wants
incredibly
to do.
average.
All right, so let's get into it. Is Baker top 20? Is he really that good that we shouldn't move off of Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield is a top 20 quarterback.
You upgrade from Baker in a heartbeat.
Name 20.
Who right now, if they don't get Deshaun Watson, can you upgrade if you don't have Baker Mayfield? He's an upgrade if you don't have Baker.
I agree. Yes, Deshaun is the only one you go after now. I really don't think Baker has put himself in a situation where the Browns have to move off him now.
No, it's because Andrew Berry already made the decision he was going to move off of Baker anyway.
I haven't heard this except
they didn't.
Yesterday, I did not hear this.
What do you mean?
Before yesterday, I did not hear this.
They didn't accept his fifth-year option.
They're
fine. Not extending him
as they should. You shouldn't pay Baker Mayfield $35 million.
If I'm a quarterback, I'm like, if you don't believe in me, why should I want to stay here?
Where is he going to go and be better? Where is he going to go and be better? He's going to be better on the Colts.
You have a team with a great offensive line, a great head coach, Amari Cooper, a great run game. You go out,
this is hypocritical.
You go
out.
Know why? No, hold up.
Not from
Let me talk. Hold up.
Go.
You go out. You have a wide receiver one, great offensive line, run game, great head coach. You have all of this. You go and show the front office, you guys fucked up. I'm going to go out, have 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4,200 yards, and now you're going to have to pay me early. Instead, Baker said, no, I'm going to go out and say goodbye to Cleveland because I didn't pick up my fifth-year option. Where's the competitiveness? Where's the fire that we all thought Baker had?
He has that,
all right,
for sure.
All right, let me list the quarterbacks, please. Okay. I'm very interested.
We'll list it after this. It's very hypocritical coming from you.
Make my day.
And it's actually... I'm usually the only fair one on this podcast for these reasons.
Goodness me.
Because I'm fair to these guys, man. They're humans.
Baker, I'm sure, is a nice guy.
Okay, listen, this is what I'm going to say actually for real. All jokes aside. You're mad at Baker for knowing. Baker already knows Cleveland's moving off from him. Baker knows that.
Because they didn't pick up his fifth-year option?
They didn't.
Does he deserve to get his fifth-year option picked up?
Let me finish, bro. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. They're not extending him. If I'm Baker Mayfield, this is what I'm thinking. I don't care what you guys think. Where you guys think Baker ranks, I don't care about that. Because if I'm Baker, I took the Browns to their first playoffs since 2002. Won their first playoff game since 1994. I deserve some respect. Were you mad? Were you mad when Kyler Murray and his agent released a long-ass statement saying, I want a fucking max extension? You weren't mad. You were defending Kyler Murray.
No, I didn't like it. I did not like it.
Kyler Murray.
What has Kyler Murray done for Arizona? He's not won a playoff game. He got embarrassed in his playoff game.
I said he should have fired his agent for that. I said it was a bad look, but Kyler's amazing. So if he wants to do it, I'm upset with it, but I'll live with it.
It's not a horrible comparison.
I didn't like that. I never defended Kyler for that.
It's hypocritical because you guys didn't care that Kyler did that.
I never defended Kyler for that.
But you're calling Baker Mayfield's statement soft?
What Kyler did was soft too. I said that. I said you can live with it because it's Kyler Murray. He's amazing.
Do you think Cardinals fans are more emotionally tied to Kyler than Browns fans are more emotionally tied to Baker.
I feel like Browns fans are more passionate than Cardinals fans.
Correct.
But they've been
through the mud.
They're also more emotional for Baker because Baker brought them their first playoff win since 1994.
I also think Baker's a much more divisive guy. He's someone that fans are split on. What everyone in Arizona is Kyler's our guy without a doubt.
Kyler Murray has been immature this entire time, deleting posts on Instagram and coming out with a statement.
Agreed.
But he gets a pass
when
because
he's good.
great.
Everyone tries to get their money in
damn.
different ways.
That's it.
But he's deserved that money.
If
Has Baker deserved
a top
35
10
million?
quarterback like Kyler, he could do this. Okay,
That's a
fuck it,
fact.
pay me. I'm a quarterback. You have to pay me. The Browns don't. Should LA not have moved off Jared Goff because they went to a Super Bowl? Should the Vikings not moved off Case Keenum because they went to the playoffs? If you have a chance to upgrade quarterback, you do it in a heartbeat. Baker shouldn't be sick. He hasn't done enough to get a $35 million extension.
This is the difference between us. The difference between us is that you are giving Kyler a pass because he's great.
Yes.
Correct.
He's
Just
great.
like any team would.
He's great. Okay, that's fine. I know he's a great quarterback. Those actions are immature. They're indefensible.
They're immature, yeah.
We had a segment about it, and I was like, I'm worried about Kyler because he hasn't accomplished shit. He's a bad leader. He shows immaturity.
The Cardinals got better every year. Made
He
the
shows
playoffs.
what have the Browns done? The Browns have done the same thing.
Yeah.
The year that the Browns fell off
Except
was
the Browns
because
have a top 5 talented roster while the Cardinals don't.
the year the Browns fell off was because Baker was injured. I mean, name an injury, he had it. Are we not going to give him the benefit of the doubt? I know Baker is not Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a better quarterback. But you are chastising Baker Mayfield for something that I know you wouldn't get mad at if Kyler did it.
Because that's
the hypocritical part.
When you're great, I will accept more of the
We just
BS.
went over this explanation with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's allowed to do the things that he does in the media because he's great.
But Burrow
and he
doesn't
wins.
make any controversial remarks.
Baker Mayfield, at the end of the day, released this statement because he knows his time in Cleveland is almost up. And even if they don't get Deshaun, Baker Mayfield and the Browns are likely moving on, and he's going to get traded to wherever he wants. It's probably going to be Indianapolis.
In your opinion, would you have preferred him to release this prior or after the moving on of Baker Mayfield from the Browns?
He signed his middle name. His middle name is Regan.
I think this was smart by him.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Why do you think this is smart?
I wish I came up with this take by myself. Actually, I wish, but I was actually curious on how Colin Cowherd reacted.
I was going
to
to say Colin must have been eating this up.
Colin Cowherd defended Baker because he said he thinks it's the most mature thing that Baker has ever done. Him releasing that statement meant that he beat Andrew Berry, the GM, to the curb. I'm not going to let you kick me out. I'm going to release this to the fans. So now the fans are behind me, and any team that's looking,
no one's behind you.
and
bro.
any team that's looking at this now thinks I've matured to the level where they want me to be on the team because I gave this team my all, this city my all.
You did.
And I think what Colin said was right. Absolutely. Like, this was a mature move by Baker. It was a chess move. And that's why I don't think that it was something for him. I don't think it was something for him to call. I don't think it was soft. I think it was a chess move, and I think he's positioned himself to the point that he's now ahead of the curb. And now he's basically fucked over the Cleveland Browns because if the Browns don't land Deshaun Watson, they have two options: trade Baker Mayfield or bring him back. If they bring back Baker Mayfield, the city's going to love him. If they don't, they're going to be fucked up at quarterback.
If they don't get Deshaun, Baker's the quarterback without a doubt. And they'll be a good team.
I don't know, because if he does request a trade and they do trade Baker Mayfield, now the Browns have no quarterback, and now they're in fire.
They look like the Colts.
Yeah, except the Colts could end up getting Baker, and now they fixed their quarterback problem.
Well, why would the Browns trade
terrible
Baker
team
if they don't have a
offensively.
backup option? Like, that's why I never understood the Wentz deal, because they don't have a backup option. You have Sam Ehlinger and James Morgan. Those are your quarterbacks.
Well, they have Case Keenum.
I'm not terribly upset. I'd rather have Case Keenum than Sam Ehlinger and James Morgan.
I'm saying Baker, I think he got ahead of this, and that's why I think it was a smart move. And I've been agreeing with you guys. Look, if you get Deshaun Watson, you do it in a heartbeat. That's not a debate.
Can we real quick get back to Baker being top 20?
Baker Mayfield is definitely a top 20 quarterback.
Where 20?
He's 18th.
Okay, so we have the without a doubts. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Herbert, Deshaun, Russ, Lamar, Burrow, Brady, Rodgers, Kyler. That's 10. Stafford, Kirk, Dak, Carr, Tannehill. That's 15. Now
Baker Mayfield can have a better season than Tannehill.
Okay, but who are we taking right now, Tannehill or Baker?
It's honestly really close. Tannehill had a bad year this past season.
I'm taking Tannehill.
Who are you taking?
I'll probably lean Tannehill, but it's really close.
Now let's get into the questionable ones. Zach Wilson or Baker?
Oh, come on, bro. You know I'm going with Zach.
Trevor Lawrence or Baker?
I'm going Trevor.
Okay.
But hold up. Are we talking about like this the seasons they just had?
No, going into next season, who do you want to have?
So we're projecting.
We're saying going into 2022 season,
I'll be honest,
who do you want
bro.
to be the starting quarterback?
Look, I understand that you're throwing in these rookies in here, but I kind of don't want to throw in these rookies in here yet.
The only one that you can throw in there right now is Mac.